Citizen Security Leader of Majority Aden Duale has moved to elaborate on what exactly he meant during an interview with the BBC Somali service. The weekend interview appeared to suggest that Duale had called for negotiations with the Alshabab, but Duale says he simply called for talks between leaders of communities living along the Kenya Somali border in Mandera.
The sentiments by Majority Leader Aden Duale, which seem to suggest that the government should offer an olive branch to the Al-Shabaab, raised eyebrows. Duale says negotiating with the Al-Shabaab is not an option.
The Jubilee administration is not in the business of negotiating with Al-Shabaab.
The leader of Majority is, however, standing by his words, but moving to expound on exactly what he meant.
The communities that live along the Kenyan border, who are our people, have their counterparts across the border, whether it's in Mandera or Garissa or Wajir. And the Al-Shabaab, on their way to attack Kenya, they pass through those communities. My position is this, that the communities on the Kenyan side should send their political leaders, their religious leaders, their elders to their counterparts across. And our brothers and sisters across the communities who live there must be held responsible for allowing people to pass through them to attack Kenyan citizens.
The Somalia border county of Mandera has in the last 1 year bore the brunt of terror attacks. The Garissa Township MP is suggesting changes to the forces fighting the Al-Shabaab along the Mandera border.
The president should go back to IGAD, to African Union, and he should ask that the sector that is controlled by the Ethiopians in Mandera should be handed over to the Kenyan Defense Forces, who are under the umbrella of AMISOM. Because I have a feeling that the Kenyan forces who are along the border from Lamu to Garissa to Wajir have now contained the incursion of Al-Shabaab. So we are better off to have our own people who care about our people.
Troops from Kenya, Uganda, Ethiopia, Djibouti, Sierra Leone and Burundi, deployed in 6 sectors in south and central Somalia, are helping in the fight against terror under the African Union mission in Somalia, AMISOM. Kenyan troops in charge of Sector 2 operate in the south. Terror is the country's biggest security threat. The formula to deal with it remains elusive. Rita Tinina, KTN.